His Divine Grace, Lacey, Bhakti-Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Ljubljana, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Down Vishnupad, Brahmahams, Subrahadakacharya, Hasidhar Situ Shri Sriman, His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridasa Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rups Natanda Raghunath, Shri Jiva Baladas Raghunath, Shri Goswami Guru Ki Jai. Prabhupada Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasudhi Gaur Bhaktamani Ki Jai, Shri Radha, Krishna Gopinath, Shamakam Radhakam, Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Matharadam Ki Jai, Vrindavan Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai, ISKCON Ljubljana Ki Jai, Gandhamayan Ki Jai, Jumnamayan Ki Jai, Shrimati Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shrimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Shri Panchatattva Ki Jai, Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai, Gaur Premanande, Slavas of Rani Bhakti, Slavas of Rani Bhakti, Slavas of Rani Bhakti, Slavas Shri Guru Ishti Garangi.
Namo Vishnu Pada
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Grivadari Jaya Grivadari Slower. Gopijana Vallabha Grivadari Jaya Grivadari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Prahladananda Jaya Prahladananda Yamuna Tiravarachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Yamuna Tiravarachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Yasodanandana Prahladananda Jaya Prahladananda Yasodanandana Prahladananda Jaya Prahladananda Yasodanandana Prahladananda Jaya Prahladananda Yamunatiravarachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Yamunatiravarachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prabhadakacharya Astadhara Sadushi Shiman His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Gaur Premanande Hariva Slava Zarani Bhaktam Slava Shri Guru Shri Garangi Om Agyanna Tivanandasya Garanjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Pandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakan Svitamscha Hey Krishna Karna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchena Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishubhanu Sudhadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakapa Druvyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Patiranam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pranityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srimad-bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Brahma's Prayers to Lord Krishna, Text 29. Atapite deva bujam bujo dvaya padam buja dvaya prasada lesha nugrihita evahi Janati Tattvam Bhagavan Mahimno Nachanya Ekopi Chiram Vichinvan Atapite deva padam puja dvaya prasada lesha nugrihita evahi janati tadvam bhagavan mahimno nachanyam ekopi chiram vichinvan Atapite deva padambuja dvaya prasada lesha nugrihita evahi janati tadvam bhagavan mahimno nachanyam ekopi chirinvan Atapite deva padambuja dvaya prasada lesha nugrihita evahi janati tatvam bhagavan mahimno nachanyo ekopi chiram vichinvan ata. Therefore, api, indeed, te, your, deva, my Lord, pada ambuja dvaya, of the two lotus feet, prasada, of the mercy, lesha, by only a trace, anagrihita, favored, eva, certainly, he, indeed, janati, one knows, tattvam, the truth, bhagavat, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, mahimna, of the greatness, na, never, cha, and, anya, another, eka, one, api, although, chiram, for a long time, for a long period, vichinvan, as speculating. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada's disciples. But actually it's going to be Prabhupada's purport. My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. Purport. This translation is quoted from Srila Prabhupada's Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 6, text 84. Lord Krishna is very eager to bestow his mercy upon the conditioned living beings who are uselessly struggling with the Lord's illusory energy, Maya. The conditioned soul struggles for happiness through sense gratification and for knowledge through mental speculation. Both processes ultimately bring him to a morose and a hopeless condition. If the conditioned soul surrenders to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and thus acquires even a trace of his causeless mercy, the whole situation is changed and the living entity can begin his real life of bliss and knowledge in Krishna consciousness. Atapite deva prajam puja dvaya prasada lesha nigrihita evahi Janati Tattvam Bhagavan Mihimno Nachanyam Ekopi Charan Vichinvan. My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the supreme personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. Hare Krishna Rasopyasya Pram Drishvani Vardate. The embodied souls may be restricted from sense objects, though the taste for sense enjoyment remains. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, one becomes fixed in consciousness. In other words, everyone is looking for happiness. And wherever we find happiness, then we have a tendency to want to find more happiness in that direction until it becomes clear that there is no more happiness in that direction. If one can find some happiness in Krishna consciousness, then one will naturally want to try to experience that happiness again and see if there is a possibility of more happiness. And because Krishna consciousness means that the happiness is unlimited and it goes forever. Therefore, if one is able, for some reason or another, get a little taste of Krishna consciousness, then sooner or later one will reach the goal. Maybe not in one lifetime, but sooner or later one will try to experience again that happiness. And the nature of Krishna consciousness is neha vikramana shosti pratyavayo navidyate swapam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahatobhaya. Anyone know the translation of that? What's that? That's the paraphrase, that's good. On this path there's no loss or diminution. And even a little advancement can protect one from the greatest type of danger. In other words, Krishna consciousness is eternal and accumulative. Whatever effort one makes, even in this lifetime, then one will continue to have the opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness in the future until one ultimately meets Krishna, and then one's life actually begins again, one's actual life. In the meantime, in the shadow world of material existence, one will naturally try to experience happiness here according to what we've experienced happiness in the past. The main happiness is always sense gratification of its different varieties, but sense gratification in the material world does not actually gratify our senses. Therefore, one can never continuously experience the same happiness from sense gratification. And therefore, one is always trying to change, bhakti-yoga, from renunciation to sense gratification, and then back to renunciation again. And sense gratification is chapala sukha. Chapala means it's flickering, and flickering happiness. There's only so many glovdamins you can eat before you get tired of eating glovdamins. If you eat too many glovdamins, you'll get, next time someone presents you with a glovdamin, you'll make a bad face. It's too much. I don't want to see them again. Similarly, in our relationships, it's like that. I love you, I love you, I love you. And then I don't want to see your face. So we call it love, but actually it's not real love. Because love is, actual real love is nanya deho deha bhajam riloke kastan karman aharte vid bujam ye, tapo divyam putraka yena sadvam, shudyat tasmai brahma sokyam tvanantam. Does anyone know that verse? Where are the scholars here? Nanyam deho. What does deha mean? The body, yes. Nanyam deho bhajam reloke. Kastan karman arhete vid bujan ye. What's vid? Who, yeah.
I'm not sure if this is the meaning, but is this the one that where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that no matter what you do with me, whether you break my heart or I still love.
A little bit different. What does vid mean? What is bujan? Ye bujan ye. Vid is dog, and bujan is hog. So, nanyam deho, deha, bhajam reloke. Kastan means excrement. Kastan kaman vid bujanye. So, one should not try to live life trying to enjoy like the hog and dog. Instead, tapo divyam putraka yena sadvam. Maharaja Shavdev is suggesting that his sons, 100 of them, they undergo tapo dibya, divine austerity. Tapo divyam putrakan yena sadvam shudyad tasmai brahmasokyam tvanamtam. So you can enjoy unlimited happiness, which goes on forever. If there was a box in the prasadam room that says unlimited happiness forever, would anyone open it up and see what's in it? So that unlimited happiness that goes on forever is the becoming conscious of Krishna, because Krishna is the only reservoir of unlimited happiness. And the process of obtaining Krishna is a tapi te deva jambuja hare prasada lesha nugrihita evahi janati tatvam bhagavan mahim no janyam chiram ekopi chiram vichinvan. That one has to find the process by which one can get Krishna's favor. Krishna lives in the world of bliss, love, and unlimited consciousness, so that one can enjoy more and more bliss and love unlimitedly, forever. So one has to participate in that rasa of Krishna. So of course, there's no question of our entering into rasa right now in a relationship, going to as a cowherd boy, or a gopi, or a mother or father of Krishna, or even a servant. But we have this Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if we learn the secret of how to chant Hare Krishna so that we get Krishna's mercy, and what is that mercy? Krishna, didami buddhi yogam tam. Practicing tesham sadatam yuktanam bhajantam priti purvakam didami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upiyanti te. And what are we trying? To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. In other words, when Krishna sees we're engaged in devotional service consistently with enthusiasm, then he gives us intelligence. He's already giving us intelligence. Yeah, after all, he says, where Krishna says he gives that from him comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Loud. Vedaisha savar aham eva vedyo vedanta krid veda vid eva chaham. And I'm everyone's heart. That means none of us are disqualified. Krishna is there in everyone's heart. He's even there in your heart. And from him comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. In other words, everyone is getting remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness from Krishna. But Krishna supplies remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness according to our desire. If we desire to remember Krishna, then Krishna helps us remember him. And if we desire to forget Krishna, then Krishna helps us forget him. If we associate with those who are remembering Krishna, then we'll remember Krishna more easily. And if we associate with things with people who are not remembering Krishna, then they'll help us forget Krishna. Then by their association, we'll develop a desire to forget Krishna, and Krishna will help us by helping us forget it. And also Krishna supplies intelligence. So whatever intelligence we have right now, Krishna supplied. But if we want to increase it, then we have to perform devotional service. Try to perform it more steadily and more enthusiastically. In other words, try and fill in the gaps in our devotional service. Then Krishna will reciprocate and give us intelligence by which we can become more and more enthusiastic to fill in more gaps. In other words, one will get a higher and higher experience in Krishna consciousness, and that will encourage one to higher and higher devotional service. And how do we get that? Tesham machita machkata prana bodhyantaj parashparam gatani antasramam nityam tushanti charamanti cha. What does that verse mean? Much. What does much mean? Mutt. What's that? Mutt. That's a dog, a mongrel dog. No, a mutt. In English, a mutt means a dog it's not a pure breed. No, mutt. What does mutt mean? Mutt shita, mutt kata prana. Mutt shita, mutt kata prana. What does prana mean?
Life.
And chitta? What's that? No, that's not chitta. Chitta is consciousness. It's a combination of mind and intelligence. Much chitta, much kata prana. So one who's learns to utilize his chitta, his consciousness, and his prana, his activities. Much chitta, much kata prana. Bodhyantaj parashparam. So what are the devotees doing when they talk to each other? Arguing over whose prasadam it is. What about Krishna? Bodhyantaj parashparam. Yeah, Krishna, but also, certainly. But what does chitta and prana have to do with talking about Krishna? What is our main idea? No, not Krishna's life. Yes, how to give the life to Krishna. How to engage, how to put the consciousness on Krishna and engage our activities in Krishna's service. That's what the devotees talk about. What's that?
So devotional service.
Yes, that's what we're supposed to be talking about. How to increase our devotional service. How to put our minds more often in Krishna, and how to perform better devotional service with more care and attention and more consistently. We're supposed to be devotees who have more experience in thinking about Krishna. They tell devotees with less experience how to think about Krishna. And those who have more experience in devotional service, how to perform it with care and attention, they tell less experienced devotees how to perform devotional service with care and attention. Much shita, much kata prana, bodhyantaj parashparam, katayantas from mam nityam. What does nityam mean? Yes, in this context. The thoughts of my devotees, pure devotees, they dwell in me. Their lives are surrendered unto me,
and they derive great satisfaction and bliss by always conversing about, enlightening one another and conversing about me. So always, the idea is always. Let's see what the translation here. Nityam, perpetually. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So we're supposed to enlighten, our main business is to enlighten one another, not just during class, someone sits here and they enlighten one another. We're supposed to always, either in association with others, we should be seeking that they tell us something that they know about Krishna, about devotional service, about consciousness that we don't know. And those should be, other devotees should be, those who we're associating with, should be anxious that we help them or tell them about what our experience in Krishna consciousness is. That's called bodhiyantash parashparam. That's the association of devotees. And then we can practice. Tesham sadatam yuktanam bhajantam pratipurvakam. Then we can practice according to what we heard to try to engage more steadily, more devotionally, with more care and attention, and more enthusiastically in Krishna service. And then Krishna will give us the intelligence how to do it. What we heard theoretically then becomes practical, experienced. Because Krishna gives us the intelligence, gives us the experience. Intelligence and experience are the same thing. And tesham eva anukamparatam aham agyana jam tamaha nasham yam yavavashto gyana dipena bhashvata. Out of compassion for them, I dwell in the heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So why does Krishna become compassionate upon the soul? What will make Krishna compassionate? You think, oh, poor thing, so small. Let me help him. Is that what Krishna thinks? Oh, such a little tiny soul, let me help the thing. Like a little bug or something. Is that why Krishna is compassionate? Is that how we invoke Krishna's compassion? Why is Krishna compassionate? Why did Nrsingadev appear before Prahlad Maharaj? What's that? Yeah, but why?
Sincere devotion.
What's that?
Because of his sincere devotion.
Yes, sincerity. And how do we judge sincerity? Were anyone here born sincere in Krishna consciousness? What does sincerity mean?
To engage complete mind and senses in the service of the Lord. To be conscious of Krishna.
Standard answer. Not bad. But how is our sincerity tested?
In the times of difficulties.
Yes, that's it. That one has to, as Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita, that one has to pass the test of the spiritual master. Because nothing is that everything has its context. Prabhupada once said we should learn Bhagavad Gita very thoroughly. See where the context is. Let's start with satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. So that's a secret that we shouldn't tell anyone else. Now that you heard the secret, make sure you don't tell anyone today. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Inquiries and submission constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. one has to pass the test of the spiritual master. And when he sees the genuine desire of the disciple, he automatically blesses the disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. In this verse, both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. One should not only hear submissively, but one should get a clear understanding through submission, service, and inquiry. Bona fide spiritual master is, by nature, very kind to the disciple, and therefore when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, then the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries become perfect. So, aren't we a little inquisitive? What would it be like to meet Krishna? Did you ever think about that? Ever dream about what it would be like one day that Krishna is there with his flute smiling at us? Did anyone ever think about that? Hello? Anyone out there? Hello? Anyone did you ever think like that? What it would be like to meet Krishna personally?
Yes, but then I stopped dreaming and try to focus on the present. I do not dare, I should say.
Why? You think Krishna is, he won't eat you, will he?
No.
Krishna's a vegetarian, mostly.
Good enough yet.
What's that?
I think that I'm not good enough yet.
Well, you're not good enough yet. But wouldn't you like to become good enough? And when you become good enough, what are you looking forward to when you become good enough? What are you trying to become good
I
enough?
don't know if I will ever be good enough for that.
What's your objective in life, in devotional service?
My objective.
What's that?
What is an objective?
I can't hear you.
What's an objective?
What's your goal in life? What are you trying to achieve?
I'm trying to be more conscious of Krishna.
And what's the ultimate consciousness of Krishna? How far do you want to become conscious of Krishna? Do you just want to see his flute or his ankle bell? What's that?
I want to go back towards him.
Yeah, you want to meet Krishna, don't you?
No,
You don't want to meet Krishna.
I don't want to be Krishna, but I want
Well, that's the whole process of Krishna consciousness, is to meet Krishna.
to meet Krishna.
What's that?
It's to meet Krishna. To meet Krishna.
Yes, wouldn't you like to meet Krishna?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
I don't
You're in the right
know.
place. You're in the right place. So we want to meet Krishna. So isn't anyone inquisitive what Krishna actually looks like? If there's a beautiful man or a woman around the corner, would you go and see what they look like? If they say, this is the most beautiful person in Slovenia, wouldn't you be curious to find out what they look like? Well, let's be honest, come on. Wouldn't you be a little curious? So what to speak of a person who's supposed to be unlimitedly beautiful? Wouldn't you be curious to see what he looks like? Therefore, that's called inquisitiveness, inquiry. What is Krishna like? And what's the formula? As it says, therefore, when the student is, first of all, we have to become submissive to someone who knows Krishna. Anyone know anyone here who are quite sure knows Krishna? Anyone in this room here knows Krishna? What about Prabhupada? Does he know Krishna? Do you think? Is he here? Yeah, okay. You got it right. So, is he a learned spiritual master, Prabhupada?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So, therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, the reciprocation of knowledge, it says, the bona fide spiritual master is very kind towards the disciple. So, Prabhupada and his representatives were kind towards the devotees. And therefore, when one is always submissive, we're trying to learn how to become submissive to Prabhupada, not only through his books, but also through his representatives. Someone who's repeating properly the instructions from Prabhupada, we're also trying to become submissive to. So that's a big problem, isn't it? Even becoming submissive to Prabhupada isn't. We think, oh, it's easy to become submissive to Prabhupada because he never tells me anything. And even the books, I can just take whatever I like from the books. But if someone says, go get the milk, we go, wait a second. What do they think? They're trying to lord it over me? Do they think I'm just an ordinary servant? Do they know who I am? Do they know my glories? They're being chanted in the 3 temples. How dare they tell me? No, we have to become submissive to the student, to the devotees too, because when they represent Prabhupada, and always ready to render service. So we listen submissively to what they're telling us, try to understand what they're telling us, and we're ready to carry out their instructions. Then the reciprocation of knowledge, and knowledge is that the consciousness of Krishna is given to us because that's what we want. That's why we're doing it, because we're inquisitive to know Krishna. Even when we don't like the devotee, even though we don't want to serve them, but because we're inquisitive, what it would be like to know Krishna, therefore we surrender. And we serve them, hopefully in a positive mood, but then the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. Krishna, didami buddhi-yogam tam, tesham eva nukamparatam. Matter of fact, the more the challenge, the more we make an effort to pass the challenge, then the more Krishna reciprocates because he's compassionate. He sees that we're actually sincere. That's sincerity. Could any of us pass the test of Prahlad Maharaj? If we were sitting on the lap of Hiranyakashipu, and he asked us, what's the best thing you've learned in school? Will we tell him, I think you're a number 1 fool? The person who even the demigods were afraid of? Probably wouldn't be so bold, because we don't even put it into our imagination that we'd be put in such a situation. But just try to imagine being in such a situation, and imagine the conviction that Prahlad Maharaj had in Krishna. Therefore, that's why Krishna was so compassionate to him. Because he never, in any circumstance, gave up trying to serve Krishna. Okay, we'll stop there. Any questions or comments? Yes. Here, we can start here. Close.
Gurudev, I was thinking about this, since now we spoke about this, that do we ever think how Krishna looks like, and things like that. So, and I asked this question to Chandramali Maharaj also the other day, and I always really think about this question many times, that we talk about separation. We should chant in the mood of separation or in the mood of prayers, but the mood of separation, because I was hearing this Chaitanya Charitamrita where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he wanted to go to South India to preach further, and then he tells his associates about this, so that he's going to go. So when they heard this, they were quiet for some time, because obviously it was painful for them that the Lord is going. And then when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, when he finally leaves, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya actually fainted, but the Lord still anyway kept going. So I was thinking that these associates obviously were not ordinary people like us, but because you are with someone and you are serving that person, you are with someone, so naturally you develop that love and affection for that person. But then when that person goes away, obviously you feel also pain, and you feel that separation. Yeah, that separation. But I was thinking that now obviously we all have this eternal relationship with Krishna, and we are just forgetful of that, and we are now reviving our position, eternal position with him. And also, since we are in this material world from time immemorial, and we are so conditioned, so I'm just, I mean, we have the deities and everything, and obviously the Lord is there in the deity form. It's not just stone or wood, something. But I always think that how to develop that mood of separation, because like I said, if you are with someone, then only you can, because you are with that person.
Anything else? No, we have to, before we develop the mood of separation by serving those who are in the mood of separation. By serving our disciple succession, who and all of our acharyas are in the mood of separation from Krishna, especially coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So by serving their mission, their instructions, then we get their association. And in their association, we're giving the intelligence to experience what they're experiencing. And since they're experiencing separation from Krishna, then we experience separation from Krishna too. Is it simple enough?
No.
Do you need a complicated answer?
No. I was also reading, someone asked, one disciple of Gaur Govind Maharaj asked Maharaj about this, that how we can cry for Krishna. How is it possible we cry for Krishna, because we have never,
Put some onions in front of you when you're...
like that.
When you're chanting, get some onions and then you'll naturally start crying for Krishna.
And Maharaj said that...
Okay, what did Maharaj say?
Maharaj said that we should associate with somebody who has this mood, who is crying for Krishna.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, that's what I was just adding the comment.
Yes. Association. But we're not trying to, that loliam mai, that desire, that gradually obtains. It's nice. Sometimes there's, in the Chaitanya, in the Nectar of Devotion, it explains about, by very powerful association with the Mahabhagavad, that one may experience them, or even those in some transcendental ecstasy by their association. But that doesn't mean it's going to last, because we have to develop our own desire to obtain Krishna. Of course, in that association, some desire is awakened, but it's more or less like a gift. So we have to especially learn the science of Krishna consciousness and apply it within our lives. So we come to that platform of Vyakta Pareshanu Vyaktir, Bhakti Pareshanu Vyaktir, Anyata Vyakta, that's how I read it. Bhakti avyakta kala tvam viraktya manushunyata ashabandha samudkanta namagana sadaruchi. So we have to develop these qualities. Bhakti, devotional service, avyartha kala tvam, with not wasting time. So we have to see when we're wasting time, for instance, and engage in devotional service instead of wasting time. Otherwise, we may come in contact with great devotees and even experience some ecstasy. But if we keep on wasting time, if we're attached to wasting time, we won't make much progress. Because the higher taste should encourage us to stop wasting time. And that's only one quality. Bhakti avyakta kala tvam virakta, detachment, manashunyataha, devoid of material desires, ashabandha, eagerness to become Krishna conscious, samudkanta, and conviction, I will become Krishna conscious, namagana sadaruchi, and attachment for chanting the holy name, attachment to living in a holy place, and liking to hear about Krishna's name, form, quality, and pastimes. These are the qualities by which love for Krishna are awakened. And it's when we experience love for Krishna that actual real bhava, that the emotions, actual real spiritual emotions are arising. Tears are one of the sattvika bhavas. So we have to come to the bhava stage to actually have, or we may temporarily come to it, but if we want to constantly cry for Krishna, We have to come to the bhava stage. Actually awaken our love for God, for Krishna. Which means we've gone past liberation, and our devotional service is intensified through ruchi and asakti to the platform of bhava, which is only one ray in the sunlight of prema.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
It's in regard to the reading. So I have this, let's say, my nature is a little flickering nature. So let's say...
Is it what?
Like flickering, little chanchal, you know.
Chanchalam himana Krishna.
So for example, in terms of reading, because I really like reading Prabhupada's books and Shastras, and there are times, for example, this whole week I will study very thoroughly the books and for hours, and then I will keep doing it, and I also see that there is so much change in my consciousness when I do this. And then the next week I want to continue doing that, but then somehow it breaks. I will still read his books. It's not that I'm not reading. I will, whatever service I'm doing, I will just put on the lecture or Chaitanya Charitamrita or something, audio. But I want to, my point is that it keeps breaking. It's not...
Nishnita bhajana kriya. It's a state, niyama akshama. One has a vow to perform devotional service in a regulated way, but one can do it for some time, but then after some time one slackens again. So how to make it steady? Take the book seriously, especially avoid becoming attached to these materialistic ideas of our mind, and especially those which cause us to engage in sense gratification and offending devotees, mentally, physically, whatever. So that immediately slackens our taste for hearing about Krishna. Maya and Krishna consciousness, they don't go together. So as soon as we become proud, or we become desirous of sense gratification, or we become angry and frustrated at others, then immediately we fall into the platform of material modes of nature, and therefore our taste for Krishna consciousness gets covered over for some time.
Okay.
Anything else? Yes.
Hare Krishna. So you were talking about how we need to talk with devotees about devotional service, and I have that experience that sometimes I try to talk with devotees about devotional service and it just seems forced and not natural, And so what can we do about this? How can we spontaneously talk with devotees about Krishna?
Do it artificially first. In other words, we're not on the platform that every time we say something about Krishna, we roll on the ground in ecstasy, because we're conditioned souls. But the idea is Sat Nama Krishna Charitari Sitapti Vidya Pitopatapta Rasanasra Nirochikanu Kinvadarada Nudinam Kala Savajushta Savi Bhavati Tadkala Mulahantri. You know that verse? The holy name, form, quality, and pastimes of Krishna are transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot relish anything sweet, it is wonderful how by simply chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish will awaken with one's tongue, and his disease of avidya will be destroyed at the root. So the idea is that when we're conditioned souls, we're covered by the illusory energy. And therefore when we talk about Krishna or chant Hare Krishna, we don't experience Krishna. We experience the bitterness of our conditioning. But if we keep on chanting and we avoid the offenses, then gradually we'll become purified. And one day, when we're chanting, we'll actually get some taste for it. So we shouldn't expect the taste to be all at once. Therefore Krishna says, Tatra sadve namano. Sattvam Sukhe Sanjayate, Raja Karmani, that's not right either. Yattaragre vishami va pariname ritopamam tatsukam satikam proktam atmabuddhi prasada tvam. That which in the beginning is bitter like poison, and the one at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization, is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. So we have to understand that it may not be so pleasant at first, but it's the remedy. It's the sugar candy that doesn't taste so good when we have jaundice, but if we keep on taking sugar candy, that will cure the jaundice, and then we'll be able to understand how sweet the sugar candy is. All right, we'll stop there. Pradharaj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, Dayalu came also. Dayalu came also.
Even nicer.
Even nicer, huh?
Yes.
But Madhava Misha was not there, so it was not so nice.
I was missing him, yes, I know.
Yeah.
Kakšno je?
Vsak dan. Od zdaj naprej bojo vsak dan.
Kako vsak dan?
Jagje. Ja.
Kakšno je?
Kakršne je? Onda so. Vara bo zdaj imel nekaj.
Bara.
Ja.
A za sina?
Kaj?
A za sina?
A ščerko, kaj pa s tem kaj bo? A bo sin?
A za sina?
Ja. Pa mislim, da bo ščerka. Sinko debelinko.